So this is Kerrigan, and I have another video for you today. Today, I will be doing a review of the world's best yarn ball holder, and I'm truly serious about this. I never had those yarn balls or anything like that. I just always used the ball from the inside or from the outside, but I got this earlier this year. I want to say in the spring, and I have been absolutely in love with it. And I didn't really share it with you because I was coloring Karia at the time, but now that I'm crafting Karia, I feel totally comfortable sharing this with you because it is pretty awesome. And without further ado, let me show you the ball holder. Let me do this last stitch. Slip the marker. All right, I lied. One more stitch. Slip the marker. One more stitch. Okay. All right, I lied. No more stitches. Okay. So, this is the yarn ball holder, and let me show you how this thing works because it's pretty amazing. All right. So, your ball goes in here, and there is inside here. There's a ball bearing. Let me remove this. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me remove this. Okay. So. Inside here, there's a ball bearing, so this turns on its own. I would love to have a lazy kit like this for other stuff. In fact, they had a sale for Black Friday where if you bought 5 of these, you got like, you bought 4 of these, you got a 5th one free, and I just could not get enough friends together to make it work for me. But that is pretty awesome. Even without that sale, these are still pretty awesome. I did buy these in cash, and I'm not getting no referral links or anything like that. So I'm just sharing this with you because I love it. All right, so you put the thing in here. So it's very easy to carry, but it is rather heavy because this is made of wood, and this is the lightest wood one they have. They have this is maple. They have cherry, purple heart. Just a bunch of other woods to choose from, and the price does depend on the wood that you choose. All right, so you put the yarn ball in here. Hold on, you put the yarn ball in here, and this pulls the yarn from the outside. Look at that. Look at that. So you can just keep knitting, and it doesn't require any pressure from you because of that yarn ball holder. So let's just say you're knitting, and as you go, in your slow, steady pace, it just pulls the yarn out like this. Look how neat that is. Look how neat that is. All right, so what's pretty awesome here is that because you're pulling the yarn from the outside, the yarn, especially if you're working with 2 yarns held together, they tend to get like, twisted up if you pull them from the center of the ball, or even if you just do it or even if you just work from the outside without it being on a ball holder. So even if it's just like that, let me show you that it starts to get you can see it already. It starts to get sort of twisted up, and that's fine if you only do it for a little bit. But if you're knitting, say, a sweater, then it's going to get a lot of sort of rolled up in itself. So this keeps the yarn nice and neat. And the hardest part is just getting your ball wound up. That's why my ball looks like this. But this is extremely useful, and I think it has probably more utility than they advertise, because this is what I discovered, and this is what you saw earlier. You can see, hold on, let me show you. You can see, oh, that's a sound I never heard before. Kind of gross. You can see that this will go in here, and there's this little thing so that you can always get it out. Because if you do it here and you put it all the way in, it is a little bit of a pain to get out. I do wish the notch went in a little bit more, but that's a very minor issue. The magnets that it uses to hold this together are very strong, like crazy strong. So you're not gonna lose this as long as look at that. That's how strong the magnet that they use to keep this in here is. So you're not going to lose this if you travel with it like that. Most of the time I have it on the ball like this. So, but there's another utility. So say when you're actually knitting and you're using it, you want to have your crochet hook for fixing your knitting errors. you can put it out there. If it's metallic, and it doesn't even end there, you can actually also put, just very carefully, I actually usually have a string attached to this so it's easy to pull out, but you can also put a tapestry needle in here, and as long as you don't put it in too tight, you can get that tapestry needle out. You can always get it out, but it's easier if you leave it like that. So you can have your crochet hook and your tapestry needle for weaving in your ends as you go, or you can save it and weave in all your ends all at once. So that's pretty neat. So that's it. This is the Hansen Ball Holder. I never even told you what it was called. I think it's called the Hansen Yarn Holder or something. I don't know, but I'll link to it and I'll put it over here in the description over here. If you are a knitter or a crocheter or even a weaver, I've used this for, and I only have the one, which is the frustrating part, which is why I was like wishing I could get in on that sale. Even for weaving, I've actually put this down on the table, and when I'm weaving, I can use that to pull the thread out to get the warp. It's kind of expensive, and there are other weaving cone holders, but I really like this one, and I like the fact that it doesn't that the yarn stays in the same position as you go in, so it doesn't add more twist to it. So I like that for weaving as well. So when I'm weaving, I put that in there when I'm putting on the warp, and I have to walk back and forth. It's just one less thing to worry about as I'm weaving, and that's it. It's just a really nice yarn ball holder, and I've never had one, like I said before this, because I didn't really, the ones where it's like a bowl and you put it out there, those never really worked for me. I've tried it. It didn't really work for me. But this way, this gets the job done. And this makes me feel so much better. And I've actually been doing a lot more knitting since then. I made my first hat. It's neither here nor there, but I made my first hat after about 15 years of knitting, and having made infinite number of shawls and blankets or whatever. But anyway, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. There'll be a link. The link is not a referral link, but there will be a link down in the description below, as well as I'll give you guys the Amazon link to the, I was using the Addy Click lace needles, so I'll link to those as well down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and don't forget to stay for a video of one of the cats who I will probably find and harass and get to do something for me. All right, bye. Hey, baby Stu. Who's your buddy? Oh, who's your good buddy? Who's your good buddy? Oh. Look at his big old nipples. Look at his big old nipples.